Hello there, friends. I hope that you're having a most wonderful day. I've got all the merry things going on in my house, and this particular day, for like 2 more days, I have a foundation and concealer deal going on at madeitwithmary.com. And because of that, I want to make sure that you know how to choose the right foundation type for your face, as well as the right color of foundation and concealer. So right now, the bundle is a foundation of your choice and a concealer of your choice that's up to 31% off. This is literally like the best foundation deal. A lot of us, of course, have lost the color in our skin that we might have had, say back in July, August, September. Maybe it's changed a little bit, and maybe you've been wearing the same foundation and you're noticing that it looks like you have a mask on your face because your face is a bit darker than the rest of your skin. So come on in, do a little hashtag hello lovely. That's the way that you can kind of wave to me over the internet, and just let me know where you're tuning in from so I could say a little hello to you. I don't get as much chatter here on Instagram, but I have had several of you say that you enjoy having these videos on Instagram. So keep the chatter coming, and I'll keep coming back here more often. So for those of you who don't know me, now my name's Mary. I love to help people find the right makeup and skincare for their face. I know for me, when I have my face feeling like it's fabulous, I feel more confident. I am just a more joyous person. I do not believe that people need to wear makeup, but I do think that it sometimes helps, sometimes with our outlook, helps me pull my shoulders back a little bit. Thank you, Janine. Yes, the coat is great. Thank you so much, Margaret. I think that's you, Margaret, right? Hello, lovely to you too. Thanks so much for that. I really appreciate it. So let's dive into the different foundation types that I offer at my website. Okay, I know a lot of us were home and we're not necessarily seeing people in real life, and we may not necessarily be getting dressed in normal clothes, or we definitely may not be putting on makeup. But if you do Zooms or Google Hangouts and you want your face to be a little bit more pulled together, or if you are out and about in the world, and if the area that you're at, maybe you do get to want to wear a little bit of makeup, this is the video for you. Okay, so first off, I'm going to actually go lightest coverage to fullest coverage. And I'm actually going to share with you kind of what that looks like on my face. Okay, so I'm going to look a little bit like a Picasso painting. Can I get some like painting emojis below just so that we can talk about it? This right here is honestly my favorite for people who are new to makeup. Those of you who are new to makeup, or if you just want to have like a very light natural look to your face, those of you who have to wear masks a lot, this is the best one for masks. This is my BB Flawless. It is a lightly tinted hydrating beauty cream. Okay, you can apply it with your fingers, you can apply it with a blending bud or with a brush. If you use your fingers, it is going to be the lightest application. If you use a brush or a blending bud, it will be thicker. So you can see I've got a lot of freckles, got a lot of age spots. I'm a Celtic girl who just shows her skin a lot. I do wear sunscreen, all right? So this is just gonna show you the kind of coverage. Now I do have primer on. With whatever type of foundation you have, you are going to want primer. Primer fills in your fine lines, fills in your pores. So if you do suffer from larger pores, this is gonna be a big help. Thanks, I'm so glad that you like the trees up. That's how we roll in this household. And it also makes sure that it holds onto your makeup. Primer holds onto your makeup. So if you don't have primer, I can add that to your foundation concealer deal, and I'll also throw in free shipping. So you can see it just evened out my skin tone just a little bit. You can see the difference right here. I kind of have like a line right here. So it's a bit more pigmented, but it's really nothing too awfully much. Now, if I were to use a brush, this is kind of the amped up coverage. I'll just put a little dollop right there just to show you the difference now. Okay, so if you have dry skin, if you're a makeup novice, if you don't really want to wear too much makeup, you just want like a very natural skin look, this is going to be the product that I recommend for you. You can amp up the coverage by applying it with a brush. So you can see right here, for me, it tones down the pink. It tones down the pink. My freckles still shine through. So if you do have age spots, acne, things like that, it's still gonna shine through. So here, once again, is the line where it's my normal skin, and here it is with the BB cream. You can, however, mix this with concealer, and it bumps it up to full coverage with a dewy finish. Dewy finish gives a little bit of the sheen, okay? I find that to be very, very youthful. I have a lot of friends who are a bit more mature and they want matte. I will tell you, if you actually want to have very youthful skin, you want to go for dewy, okay? That is one of the biggest tricks. Okay, so that's the BB cream, and I can of course color match you in a jiffy. Just shoot me a little message and I can take care of that for you. My next foundation is my Liquid Touch foundation. Now the shade might be a little different for me as I am more in my winter shades, but I just want to share with you the coverage. So the Liquid Touch foundation is for those of you who want a medium foundation with a matte finish, okay? This is going to give a powder-like finish, but it goes on like a liquid. It is a very, very thin consistency, so you will not feel like you have any makeup on your face. You can apply it with your fingers or with a brush. I like to apply it with a brush as well, so let me make sure, yeah, the BB cream's gone out of that. You can mix this with BB cream. So I'm just gonna do 2 little drops right on that brush right there, just to share with you the coverage of the liquid foundation. So you buff it in. I really prefer it with a brush. There are kind of like these little photo optic ingredients inside of it that blur your imperfections and really give a beautiful finish to the skin. This is buildable coverage, so it is medium at first. You can see the line right there, how it toned down that redness. And if I wanted to amp up the coverage, I would just go a little bit more on top. It does not have any weight to it. I will say, because it has a matte finish, if you have fine lines, and if your makeup likes to settle in those fine lines, A, you're gonna wanna have primer, but B, this may not be the product for you because it is matte, and I do find that if you have dry skin, it's not the one for you, or if you have a lot of kind of fine lines like that, it will not be the one for you. But you can see the difference between the liquid foundation and the rest of my face, how it really, really calms down a lot of that pink versus the coverage of the BB cream. Hi, Mackenzie, how are you? Thanks for popping in. All right, next up, we're gonna do spray foundation. Okay, so spray foundation is going to give you a satin finish. That's somewhere between the dewy and the matte. This is very, very feather light. I love this product. This is the newest one to my line. You do need to shake it, so excuse me for a second. Okay. All of your products that are liquid or cream based, you want to shake before you use. You really want to make sure all the ingredients are nice, whether it's your skincare or your makeup. Then what you do is you apply it on a kabuki brush. You can add this, of course, to your cart and get yourself some free shipping too. So I'm just going to apply it right here. All right, and this is a bit more my winter shade. And you're gonna see this also is buildable and very, very light. So if you do have a bit drier of a skin, this might be one of the options that I would recommend to you. You do not really feel any weight on your face because it is a spray foundation and it has more of that satin finish. So if you don't necessarily want to go full out dewy, but you don't think that your skin's gonna go well with the Liquid Touch foundation, the spray foundation is where it's at. And I'll be real with you, the spray foundation is the one you get the biggest deal with right now because this is my most expensive of my foundations, but they're all at this discount. So you can see I've got a couple of my like age spots shining through. What's great about this is you can just add a little squirt. And once again, this is buildable as well. So you can just kind of target those areas or you could hit it with some concealer. So one of the questions that I get a lot is how do we find the right concealer for our face? When you're choosing a concealer, I'm gonna ask you, do you wanna brighten under your eyes or do you want to hide age spots? Acne, scarring, things like that. If you're trying to cover things on the majority of your face, you want to have the same shade as your foundation. If you're trying to brighten under your eyes, you want to go 1 to 2 shades lighter. If you want to do both of those things, cover your dark circles and cover scarring or age spots or acne on your face, and you only want to get one of the foundations, I will suggest you do the one that's the same shade as your face, okay? So right here you can see a bit more coverage from the spray foundation than the liquid foundation. You can see a few of my freckles because once again, this is medium coverage. This we're going into the fuller coverage, okay? And once again, very, very light. Love, love that product. Now, if you have dry skin, if you have mature skin, if your skin has fine lines, if it just has that kind of like crepey-like texture and you want fuller coverage, I'm either going to recommend the BB cream mixed with concealer, okay? It's gonna give you a really nice dewy look, or my stick foundation. It honestly doesn't get any easier than my stick foundation. And I have actually found even my oily girls love this. If there was a fan favorite, it would be the stick foundation, not gonna lie. So once again, just draw it on your face. You can do a light coating and go for a more light to medium coverage, or you can go to town and draw all over your face and really amp things up and get some fuller coverage. What I love about this is in a pinch, you can use it also as concealer. You can just use it under your eye, but this week's bundle is concealer plus foundation. This is gonna give you a nice dewy finish. Hello, hello. Feel free to put hello lovely in the comments below. That's your little way of waving to me. I'm sharing with you the different types of foundations for your face. So look at that once again. So I'm actually going to finish this side with the BB cream just so you can see light coverage versus full coverage, okay? So this right here is the stick foundation. Now I have a lot of discoloration on my eyes, so I often put either concealer or foundation on my eyes to really kind of cancel that out. So right here we have light foundation, medium foundation, and then fuller coverage. I do have some really, really strong freckles, and as I said, you can either go on top of that with concealer or just with that same buildable foundation. This one feels creamy. This one is very, very hydrating. So if you're in an area of the world where you have a bit more dryness in the environment, or if your skin is just crying for moisture, this is the one that you're gonna want, the stick foundation. Woo, sorry about that. Now let's go in to, I also have powders, but powders I feel like everybody knows how to use. So let's go into the concealer colors. So when you're choosing a concealer, once again, if you're trying to cover age spots, freckles, scarring, acne, things like that, choose the same color as your foundation. If you're trying to brighten under your eyes, choose a color that is 1 to 2 shades lighter. So I'm gonna share with you, this shade right here is the same shade as my foundation. Okay, so let's say I wanted to hardcore cover up like these little freckles, that's my glasses indent. You can either apply the same shade of concealer as your foundation before or after. If you are wearing a creamy or liquidy based foundation that has a dewy or satin finish, you can apply it before or after. If you are wearing a foundation that has a powder finish, so either powder or my Liquid Touch foundation, you do want to apply your concealer before. Okay, so you do the creamier liquidy products underneath the powder products. If you put powders first and then creamies, it just becomes mud. That's not good. Hi, Mary. Thank you so much. That is so sweet of you, Mary. So you can see I did that concealer right there to really amp up that coverage. Okay, and I can put it on top because this is creamy. So look at that difference. And going underneath my eyes, the same shade. So now I'm going to share with you what it's like if I wanted to do a lighter shade under my eyes. Dun, 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 dun. So this is 1 to 2 shades lighter. My face is full Picasso, right? Full Picasso. Oh, you know what I wanted to do though? I wanted to add BB cream on this half so I could really show the light coverage. So bear with me, friends, bear with me. All right, You guys know how it is. For those of you who are tuning in, do you wear foundation? Are you wearing foundation right now? But if you do wear foundation, you know, do you like light or fuller coverage? Do you like matte or dewy? Both sides of my face are going to be dewy right now. I'll be real with you, I live in New England, it is cold and it is dry. So my skin wants all the moisture. All right. So this right here is light coverage, this bottom half of my face, light coverage with the BB cream, just using my fingers. Makeup novices, people who want a really natural everyday look, or if you want it that it won't make a mess on your mask, this will be it. Really nice, right? And it gives that nice dewiness to it. Let's go in now with a bit brighter of a concealer. Hi Victoria, how you doing, my friend? Okay, so this is 2 shades lighter. 2 shades lighter, all right? I'm gonna do it on both eyes, all right? So look at that, you can already see the difference. Already see how much lighter it is. I'm going to apply 3 dots. I probably could have used a little bit less than that, but I have some discoloration right here in this inner corner of my eye. I already put foundation up here, but I like to go underneath my brow bone. It really kind of helps lift my eye because I do have a bit of a sag. Now, my concealer has skincare inside of it, okay? It has hyaluronic acid, which is a skincare that's going to help add hydration because under your eyes is really, really thin and it doesn't have the necessary oil glands that the rest of our face has. That's why it gets often crepey and just kind of like flimsy as we age. So this really adds that hydration into it. I like to then take my ring finger. It is the most dainty of your fingers, has the lightest touch, and I just kind of blend it. You can also take a blending bud and do this. I find by doing this, it really makes sure that it doesn't end up in my fine lines, and it takes away any of the tackiness to finish that drying, because it does dry quickly. So you do one eye at a time when you come to this concealer. After that, it's up to you. You can either leave it like that, or if you find that you have texture, if you have physical under eye bags, if you have some big pores right here, you are going to take some setting powder. Setting powder sets your face. It's like hairspray for your face. It's translucent, but it's going to get rid of the sheen. So we're talking about the dewiness, which is really nice, really youthful, but dewiness also can showcase texture, which is why a lot of people who have more mature skin, they want matte. But frequently, sometimes matte can sometimes be a little drying. So what I prefer for people who are a bit more mature skin is to go with a more hydrating foundation, but then put setting powder on top. Setting powder will not dry out your skin, and it really sets the makeup so it doesn't budge, doesn't go anywhere. When you're wearing a creamy based foundation, sometimes you need it to be locked in place, and it diffuses the physical under eye bag, and it diffuses your large pores. It will also keep oils and sweat at bay. Okay, so that's how I like to do it. When I'm choosing my more fuller coverage foundation right now, I am using a stick foundation, I am using my concealer, and then I'm setting it with setting powder to lock it in place, but also to help diffuse from the under eye bags. Lottie says, light coverage when I do wear foundation. These days I don't wear it much because of the face mask. You know, COVID. I know, girlfriend. Mary says, I don't wear foundation. I feel my skin peels and my wrinkles show a lot more. So it just means that you don't have the right foundation, Mary. Remind me what country you're in, Mary, because what might be great for you, honestly, is the BB cream. Honestly, this could be fantastic for you. And if you have darkness under your eyes, you could go in for a concealer. So I'm gonna share with you, once again, this was the BB cream, so that lightly tinted, just adds a little bit of extra complexion to my skin, and I'm going to do a smidge of concealer under here to help brighten. So this is that lighter shade, okay? If I was going for the same shade, I'll just share with you what that would look like. If I was going for the same shade, it would have been this shade, okay? Just so you can see how much lighter. When I want to have a more fuller coverage look, for my friends who love the BB cream, I actually take that concealer and I mix it with the BB cream, and it is glorious, glorious. All right, so let's take this right here. I'm taking the concealer end of my powder concealer brush. Once again, I bring it up underneath my eyebrow. That's going to give a lift to my eyebrow. I fill it in on my discolored eyelid. I've got freckles and veins and all kinds of stuff right there. So I fill that all in. I go on that inner side of my eye. I have a little bit of darkness along the side of my nose because I do wear glasses. And then I focus right where that most pigmented discoloration is. And then I bring it up and back. This is going to give a faux facelift. Okay, so once again, even though I chose a more light coverage foundation for the rest of my face, I can go fuller coverage with my concealer underneath my eyes. So if you're someone who says, you know what, I really don't need full face, you know, I'm just on Zoom, I'm just running errands, but I do feel like my under eyes is a little meh, and I just want to kind of feel pulled together. This would be the combo for you. So look at that, brightened underneath my eye, yet I have this dewy, easygoing look for the rest of my BB cream. And what's great when you do lighter coverage, so the BB cream's lighter coverage. My brushes are from my site, Victoria, minutewithmary.com, and then you click tools. If you need help picking brushes, let me know and I can tell you which ones are my favorite. So what's great about this is that my natural coloring shows. When you choose a lighter coverage foundation, you do not need to do as much blush or bronzer, if any at all, because my natural flush is still shining through. When you do fuller coverage foundation, you're getting rid of your natural flush and your dimension, and you're like a one-dimensional canvas, and you need to kind of chisel that aspect back in. So that's why I say if you want to do more light coverage, makeup novice, easygoing, it would be BB cream and maybe throw in a little bit of that concealer. And then if you do not like the look of the physical under eye bag or texture on your face, you just take that same setting powder. And this, of course, is all on my site, minutewithmary.com. I've got a foundation concealer special going on now through Thursday, and then it's gone. And then it's gone. Meh under eyes, says Janine. All right, this will help you. This will help you. Okay? Boom. So what it's done, the setting powder is it's taken away the sheen from my physical under eye bag. So that's not shining saying, look at me world. It's diffused, but the rest of my skin is still nice and dewy. So once again, light coverage, medium coverage, fuller coverage. Let me know which one you like the best, and I hope you liked this Minute with Mary video. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye.